Is that you dinging? Mindy? Oh, it's Tim.
It's not me.
You don't recognize the presidential ringtone when you hear it?
Oh, sorry.
I just stopped running. This was this happened. But I was rushed.
Good evening, everybody. We're going to call the meeting of the Almont Village Council to order January 20th, 2026. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have one requested addition to the agenda tonight under open discussion, park board update. Councilmember Stuffler has requested that. So, but before we do that, roll call. Roll call.
Okay, you ready? Sorry. Feldman? Glasser?
Present.
Miller? Powell? Schneider?
Present?
Stuffler?
Present.
And Dyke.
Present. As aforementioned before roll call, we've had one requested addition to the agenda tonight. It's under open discussion, park board update requested by Councilmember Stuffler. I would entertain approval of the agenda with that addition for tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Support.
Agenda approval, motion by Councilmember Snyder, supported by President Pro Tem Stuffler to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes by all council members present. Communications, I have none. Dale, did you have any communications? Okay. Consent agenda, regular meeting minutes, January 20th. Meeting minutes. I had one under section 4, absent request from village manager, from village council member Miller. It states, President Dyke explained that Robert Miller requested to miss 3 council meetings. The proper channel for such a request is to have the village council approve the absences. It should be added in there per village charter, section 4.3C. And that's all I had. Anybody else on meeting minutes? Being none. General fund. Local street fund, general, major street fund, parks and recreation fund, sewer fund, water fund, equipment fund, payroll register report. There's no questions or comments. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support?
Motion by President Pro Tem Stoffler, supported by Councilmember Snyder to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
I.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously by all council members present. Now is the time for public comment for any agenda item, any item on tonight's agenda. Do we have public comment? Being none, regular agenda. Item number 1, resolution 2026-02-02, adopting corrective action plan for equipment fund. Manager Kerberson, or
I will start out and the treasurer can take over. Just simply, you recall last year, we took the smart move of loaning ourselves money to buy a piece of equipment. The process went very smooth. Turns out that the state of Michigan would like us to ask them permission to do that, I guess, ahead of time, which we did not do. Unfortunately, in the audit, the auditor decided that the debt, the unpaid debt, needed to be recorded differently. It gave us a negative balance. Therefore, we would operate in a deficit at the end of our fiscal year last year in the equipment fund. So we have to do a corrective action plan, and that's what's in front of you this evening, requested by the state of Michigan because of the auditor's adjustment.
And the plan that you have in front of you is different than January's resolution because last week we were assigned someone from the Michigan State Treasury to review everything. And when I explained to him the history behind it, then he guided me to their example, and that's what we have there. So the example has the actual figures from the audit for the 2024-25. I had King & King help me with 25-26. Then the person that was assigned to me, there are 2 in Treasury that would work on this and approve the plan, reviewed everything. I sent it to him by email yesterday. We talked. He made me make a few adjustments. The Excel spreadsheet is more elaborate than he needed, but that was the example he said. So verbally, he's happy with what is there. He understands why it happened. And we'll work with the auditor to make sure that because this audit only encompassed one of the 3 pieces of equipment that were bought that way. The other 2 pieces are in this fiscal year's audit, so we'll correct how it looks on the financial papers and move forward. So if this is approved tonight in the way it is, it will be uploaded to the State of Michigan portal, and I will hear back from them that they accepted it. So then we'll move forward, and that will be put to rest. Any other questions regarding that?
A little. So from my understanding, one of the reasons that caused this is because the auditor suggested making the change in the line item for how this balance ended up, which is what the state was unhappy with. Is that?
He indicated in the audit that it was a irregularity. Am I right?
And so what I was told when I spoke to them is that they were unaware that we were going to finance that way. So the way the GASB rules are now, once they arrive for the audit, they can't really give grace on anything like that. So they wrote it accordingly with the deficit, full well kind of knowing what was going on. So we'll work with them, get it into the right line items, and change that moving forward.
And it's not the moving forward that is my question. The reason why
Okay.
I'm asking is because I feel like they were kind of full aware, because even when they came and they made their audit presentation, I remember specifically asking questions about this and the process because it was new to us. And are you happy with it? And it's legal and it's going to pass muster and it's going to be okay. And
That's
I was
not what they
giving
told you.
lots of confirmation on the record about that specifically because I had this exact concern. And then now that's what I'm saying. So it sounds to me like one of the reasons we ended up in this situation is because they told us to do it this way, said it was okay. It's not. Just making sure. Okay. I just wanted clarification on it because there'll be more questions next audit. So just making sure.
We'll do journal entries so it doesn't show that way in this year's financial statement, so we
Sure.
won't have that again. which that's also what I told the representation from Treasury. This was, and he recognized in the conversations I had with him for 3 days, because at the beginning, it's like, I didn't even have passwords to get fully engulfed in all of this, and he understood that when he looks at our fund balance in the general fund and the equipment fund, we're not in a deficit. We just are on paper. So we'll move forward and get
It's
this fixed.
Yeah, it's a technicality, and it's
It
a
sure
live and learn
is.
situation. It's just also there's a reason why we pay the auditors all that money
I
for
agree.
their sound advice that then gets us in trouble when we listen to it. So okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions from council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we approve resolution number 2026-02-02, internal service fund, legislative body resolution, and multiple year deficit elimination plan.
Support.
Okay, my brain's frying. Resolution of the board, it says roll call resolution is not correct.
This is a roll call for sure, so.
Motion by President Pro Tem Steffler, supported by Councilmember Schneider to adopt a resolution 2026-02-02 as stated on the record. Roll call.
Stoffler,
Aye.
Schneider,
Aye.
sorry, I don't have some out of here. Glaser, am I pronouncing that correctly? Glaser, I apologize. Powell's also not here, and then Dyke. Okay.
Motion passes by roll call unanimously by all council members present. Agenda item number 2, resolution number 26-02-03, Act 51 MDOT map.
Yes, you've all heard about Act 51 monies. That's the revenue that comes back to us from the state towards local and major streets. It is directly based on the lineal feet of street that we have recorded and accepted by the state of Michigan, and MDOT uncovered this year that 2 minor pieces of roadway were not on that map, so they are being added per this request, and it will expand our Act 51 map a few hundred feet.
So I have 2 questions. One, how much additional revenue does that bring, do we know? And number 2, Mendy, if history, and Stephen, you might remember this, if history reminds me, these 2 pieces that I thought were on our map, and then DPW wanted them abandoned because they're hardly used, the cost of the maintenance wasn't worth the Act 51 money, and trying to plow them in their locations was not worth it, so I thought we had abandoned them from the street map. So my second question is, do we need to take any kind of action to re-add them if we abandon them?
No, not that I'm aware of. Specifically, Spring Street is the street that's in front of the salt shed that we use every day, and it has at least 2 homes on it that we've plowed that as long as, I've only been around a couple of years, but we plow it because that's in front of all the DPW garage. The other section of road it has 3 homes on it, and we do plow it.
We still do plow it?
We have always plowed it. There was an issue with the owner at the end of the road that wanted us to go even further past his garage, but that would have been beyond the street right of way, so we stop at the edge of his property.
Okay, I thought especially the one on Stone Street, I thought we abandoned that like 10 years ago because it was costing more to maintain than.
Yeah, I don't recall that, Tim.
I recall doing an abandonment of ones that we found not to be fiscally responsible to continue because it cost more, but I don't remember it being Stone or Spring.
Okay. And do we know what the revenue gather is?
No, and it will be minuscule. I'm sure it won't even be $1,000.
Okay, but it's still
Every
something.
penny helps.
Okay. Anybody else on council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution 2026-0203 Act 51 MDOT for the addition of the street links, which will provide the village with additional Act 51 funds.
Support.
Motion by Councilmember Glasser, supported by President Pro Tem Stepler to approve Resolution 2026-02-03 as stated on the record. Roll call.
Glasser. Steffler.
Aye.
Schneider.
Aye.
And Dyke.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously by roll call by all council members in attendance. Agenda item number 3, authorize signer on bank accounts.
I'll start that. Also, interestingly enough, the certified minutes of the council adopting and accepting Randy Listerman as our clerk treasurer wasn't adequate for our banks. They needed a resolution or a statement that she is now allowed to also be on the signing card. So
It is a corporation and a corporate resolution is necessary.
that's why we're bringing that back this evening. She's been making the deposits, but not able to take any out.
And may I add, Mr. President, that also I added the deputy clerk treasurer on there. She was not a signer, but I think in my absence, that's her statutory duty. So we do have one additional signer. They did have a little bit of a struggle with people in and out of the office, making sure everything ran smoothly until I become a signer and while Kim was gone. So I think this will help that moving forward.
Questions from council? Being none, I'll entertain a motion.
I will make the motion that we approve the proposed memorandum for the change in authorized signers on all financial institutions.
Motion by Councilmember Snyder, supported by President Pro Tem Stepler, to approve authorized signers on all financial institutions as stated on the record. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously by all council members present. That concludes tonight's regular agenda. Now is the time for a public comment for any non-agenda items. Do we have any public comment tonight?
So, I have some items, but I'm not sure if it goes under the public comment or open discussion.
Public comments, because you're commenting in front of the public.
My name is Joe Janiga. My son and I own a property, I own it through our LLC trust and my son, 520 Church Street. And on the 26th of January, I received a motion affidavit to order to show cause for a judgment that was put against me personally back in October. And I never got any of these notifications or anything, so obviously I didn't show up in October. I guess my concern is, first of all, it was done in the wrong name completely, because in my personal capacity, I do not own the house. But the judgment was against me personally. When I found out about that, I called Dale here and said, hey, what's this all about? And Dale started out with, well, back in 2020, you applied for a variance for the garage that I built at this house because we did a lot of renovations to it. And that you stated that you wanted to build that for the purpose of living quarters above the garage. And do you have anybody living there in the garage? I'm like, no, and that I have the meeting minutes from that, I guess, a ZBA, Zoning Board of Appeals, where you apply for a variance. I have the meeting minutes of that. We simply wanted to build the garage for additional storage because the house is so small. That's it. But that had nothing to do with this particular case that was brought against me. I never got any of the mailings. I told Dale that I never received any of them. And he said, well, we sent them to your house. And I said, well, which house? And he's like, well, your house. I'm like, well, I'm at 5935 Timberwood Lane. That's where I live. That's where the corporation's address is. And in fact, I've asked that all mail regarding anything with that property be sent to 5935. The only thing I ever got was this that was served to me. We went to court yesterday, and the judge was really angry at the attorney because it was filed against me and not my son and not my corporation. But the whole ticket, or the whole issue of the thing is ordinance 202, section 304. And that's all it says on the ticket. There's 19 subsections to 304. So I'm not sure which one I'm in violation of. I have a feeling I know it has to do with the siding in the front that is not completely done yet, because I had issues with contractor that was supposed to do stone. I had 2 guys flake out on me. We had a couple deaths in the family, one thing like another, and here we are. The other one was blight. And I get blight is subjective, but if I may, I have some pictures here. You guys are looking. This is the house before, and those are all the improvements that I've done to the house. And that's the part that's not complete yet. You can pass those around to the council. Now, I did come and see Dale. I don't leave stuff like this. If you look at all my properties, anything I own, it's done. Everything's clean and it's done. This house, I had some issues with that front piece. I talked to Dale. I told him I have no problem getting it done. I need some time because of the weather. I committed to having it done by the end of May, completely done. But I don't feel that I need to pay these fines.
Hey, Mr. Janke.
Yes, sir.
2 points. We're over the time limit for
Okay.
open discussion, number 1. Number 2, it's my understanding this is an open litigation right now. So
Okay.
we can't publicly discuss it.
Okay.
But we will ensure that Dale does mail any future mailings to the,
No, you won't,
Oh,
because
no.
it's not
Oh.
Dale's responsibility. Dale doesn't do
Oh, sorry.
any mailing of anything. We have legal counsel. If this is active litigation, this is a conversation for our legal counsels.
so any communication needs to go through our legal team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Thanks for
time.
your time and thanks for the information. Anybody else on public comment tonight?
Thank you. Appreciate
Being none, we'll move to open discussion, park board update, Councilmember Stepler.
So at our last meeting of the Park Board, I just wanted to pass along a few items that we discussed and items that I had previously updated council on. The first of which is we did elect new officers. I will be serving as the Park Board Chairman. Melissa Schneider will be our Vice Chair and Secretary, and Jennifer Simonetta is our Treasurer. In addition to election of officers, we did formally approve the resignations of several board members that I previously mentioned, with the addition of one additional resignation, leaving us with a park board of 5 members currently. I understand that there will be some discussion amongst the township on future representation on park board, but currently Dennis from the township board will be serving as the representative. Previously, that was sort of co-representation from Kim Streeter and Dennis. So that's just update on membership. There was a question about the ice rink that came up at our last village council meeting, one of our members did go and inspect the ice rink, the other equipment associated with it. It's not in a condition to be open to the public now, unfortunately. The liner sort of collapsed, froze, and in order to put it back into service, we would need to have it thaw, completely drained, refilled, and refroze. So it does not look at this time like we will be able to open the ice rink for this year. And there are some needed repairs to the equipment shed as well. That was in pretty poor condition, as observed by our park board member. In terms of future board structure and plans that we would like to execute with park board, we had a discussion about how to move forward with the limited number of members that we have currently and the projects that we'd like to achieve over the next foreseeable future, really. So we discussed the possibility of approaching both village council and township board with the idea of having a paid park director or employee that could carry out some of the duties that a lot of park board members were doing as volunteer work, that we had some success with the number of dedicated volunteers that we had previously. But unfortunately, with the retirement or resignation of those members, it leaves us with a pretty limited board, and we just weren't able to further a lot of the projects, including the tennis courts, in a manner that we wanted to. We are in the process of drafting a position description with the idea of bringing that to both boards for discussion and or approval. But before we do that, I just wanted to let you all know of those developments and see if you had any feedback, questions, concerns with the direction that we would like to head in the future.
I mean, you guys have an awful lot of difficult hurdles ahead. So I think it's way too early for anyone to comment on the big plans, and I certainly hope that you're capable of getting more people willing to volunteer their time, as well as appropriate funding for a director to start pointing it in the right direction. So, and thank you, by the way, for being willing to take over the role of chair. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
They definitely need
For at least a year.
they need some experience and some leadership, and that's, at this point, that's you on this board. So
we lost a lot of institutional knowledge in this last year. So we're sort of in a rebuilding stage, and really feel that in order to have the consistency and just presence that we need in the park to move things forward, we really need to have someone that's their job. So we're thinking this is a part-time position, possibly seasonal, that would take care of some of the duties that we sort of fill in with park board members and with DPW staff as we can. So things like opening and closing the bathrooms, helping organize and set up music in the park, doing park inspections, those types of just day-to-day activities are things that we're looking for. But additionally, helping with researching grants, writing grants, presenting to local community foundations to obtain funds. We've sort of tried to piecemeal those items together, and it's just really not effective at this point. So it sounds like there's some interest in at least hearing more about these plans. I do know that Dennis plans to bring this same concept to township, their board meeting, I believe, next Monday. And so far, we've been hearing some favorable feedback. So I'm encouraged to hear that, and hopefully they will feel similarly, that in order to make the community park continue to function and then even operate it at enhanced level.
To
That's what
echo
we'll do.
Councilmember Snyder's comments, it's good to see that there's been a step back and kind of a replan in motion with some positivity, so. And our board will do whatever we can do to support you.
You appreciate that. Any other questions regarding Park Board?
Discussion, council manager comment. Manager Curberson, do you have anything to bring to council?
I have a few items I just would let you know, kind of update that are ongoing. We now have a draft of the park video camera, the video that we can now look at and use. We have a policy for how it will be used, draft policy, and how to access it and who will be allowed to access it. After it gets reviewed, we will get that out to the council. Well, we will need to decide if it should go first to the park board for their approval and then to the council, or to the council for their approval and then adoption by the park board as well.
Do you anticipate you'll have that by next council meeting, or?
I would hope so.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
I
not
think
a
it
real long policy.
I think it would make sense to bring it here first, and then Park Board meets at the end of the month, so the timing would work out.
Okay, great.
Complete consensus on that. They've got plenty on their plate right now. Let's us review it first. Let's review it. Let's send it their way. If they have concerns, they'll send it back to us with what their concerns are. But let's not overburden them with that policy first. We'll do it here first. And I do have some significant revisions. So, but I'll go over it with you.
All right. As was referenced earlier, we were in court on Monday for 2 different blight cases. They are continuing on, and I'll report back as things develop with them. We had the furnace installed, the one that we approved the purchase of at the last meeting. It was installed yesterday. Pretty interesting how it went after that. Running a furnace being in the building, running a furnace being in the building for the first time it's turned on is, I don't know if you've ever done that, but it smelled terrible for hours. So I had to put up signs for the people that were coming in here after hours last night. Notify the fire department, notify the police that it's supposed to smell like that. So
First use of a heat exchanger smells like
yeah,
that.
and so that all cleared up. During the work, as I was milling around and keeping an eye on the contractors, I discovered that this building doesn't have any smoke or carbon monoxide detectors anywhere in it.
News.
So I brought Brian in today. We looked around, did a thorough review, and came up with a list, a number of detectors that we will need. And then we learned that the wastewater treatment plant didn't have any either. So they did a review, and they're ordering as well for individual units to be installed in the building. So first line of defense. We did have a fire call to this building last Thursday night. Just as the staff was leaving, they smelled what they thought was something burning. It turned out that the fire officer on duty came with the equipment to look, the heat-seeking equipment to look for a fire. Searched the whole building, the attics, everywhere, couldn't find anything. They felt it must have been, and it was the furnace that we have since replaced, had either belt or a bearing going bad. So if you saw anybody here or heard about it, we did have a fire call to this building, and it was the furnace that we replaced. So good timing all the way around. And I think that's it, unless you have some things you want to ask me.
Clerk Treasurer Listerman, welcome for your first meeting.
Thank you very much.
Do you have anything to bring to council?
First of all, I want to thank you for putting your faith in me and offering me the position. We're getting up to speed. Both Lisa and Pam have been amazing to support me along the way, and Kim has been helpful. The first week and a half, I tried not to text her a lot, but more has happened this week because I know she was settling into a new position as well. So it's been a little bit longer, drawn-out process to get me into all the different accounts, whether it's vendors or the bank system, so that we can get up and running. But I think we're close now, so we'll be very happy. And I don't know if you have any specific questions for me about anything, but again, I'm glad to be here, and staff's been wonderful, and it's been great to meet everybody that works in the village. So,
I do have one easy
Sure.
question.
sure.
Do you have Kim's old cell phone?
Yes.
Okay, so change that number in my contacts.
Yes, we had a little trouble with the phone system and
Okay.
getting that company to get everything up to speed, the auto attendant. That was fixed, and then the police department asked for their own tree, and yesterday we realized that they took the whole phone system offline and no one was getting any calls, so they got fixed at about 5:15. So some community members got a hold of us, but this phone, I'm not using it personally for work yet, but it does have the device that she hired or bought called Plod that does the recording of the minutes, and I do have it, so we're getting all that worked out. They're working on a business card for me as well.
So don't call you on that phone yet.
No, I do have it with me, but I do know the password now. It took a little while for all of that.
Sounds good.
So,
Councilmember Walter?
Nope, Dale got me squared away, so I'm good.
Councilmember Smith? President Pro Tem Stockler?
One slightly related park board item I forgot to mention was that I apologize that the meeting wasn't live streamed. We didn't have access to the closet at the time, so I just asked Gail that we work that out better next time. Whether that's knowing where the key is or leaving it unlocked, I'm not sure how you guys want to manage that. But yeah, I do apologize that it was not available for live stream. But we will have the meeting minutes up, and then in the future, we plan on posting them to the website as well. And that's all.
We are adjourned. Students, you can come up and get your agenda signed. You can take them to any council member.
Any of us.
Are you
Or you can all wait in line, it's up to you.
How's school going?
Great. Nice and chilly.
Where you at? Snow
There
City.
you go. You're welcome. You too. There you go. You're welcome.
Anywhere?
do they want to position or just sign it?
So if you don't get signed, if you don't get signed.
You're welcome. Everybody have a good night.
No, it's probably. All right.